What is it you're seeing?
It looks like people, but it's not a person. Oh, no.
Almost time, Rose.
Hold on, I'm coming!
So we're gonna start this one. We're gonna get straight into it. All right.
All right.
We watch Smile, and before we go start talking, I want to play a game. All right. Your job is to give me a little check mark as I list off. Okay.
A check mark?
Yeah, you're gonna go like, "Yep, I got checks." You know, like, "Yep."
Okay.
But we're gonna play elevated horror bingo. I'm gonna give you some elevated horror tropes, and you're gonna give me a little yes or no if this smile ticks off those boxes.
Okay.
All right, so you ready?
I'm ready. Like, give it to me.
Our first elevated horror trope is a main character is dealing with past trauma.
Well, that's a check.
That's a check. All right. Drone shots of cars driving for scene transitions, specifically through forests and scenery.
You know, I don't remember if this is in the movie at all, but I'm going to assume it is.
Right away. and bonus on top of that, the drone will flip upside down.
Oh my god. That happened in the new Candyman, didn't it?
Yes, very similar.
Yeah.
Right now, because back then you couldn't get a drone shot, right? Like doing like the opening of Shining would have costed you like thousands of dollars. Now, any asshole can go to Best Buy and get a decent looking drone shot of a car driving. You know?
Yeah, even Neil Breen can do it apparently.
Yeah, Neil Breen. Well, he would just green screen it, but
Probably.
Our next one is an anxiety-inducing score.
Okay. That one is there for sure.
Yes. Our next one is violin plucks or high-pitched operatic moaning.
That is definitely there.
Thank A24 for that. I feel like they invented that.
Do what I feel like The Witch was like the big one that was like doing that.
The Witch, especially with trailers, any horror movie trailer always does that, where it's quiet and it's like the pluck, and then like a loud noise, and then it gets quiet again, and then the pluck. Our next one is a postmodern home/apartment.
Yeah, that's definitely there.
And then finally, our last one is worsening mental state of main character, which leads to the downfall of themselves and others, typically involving/ending in fire.
Yeah, that's there.
Hooray, you just won elevated horror bingo.
Yeah. I can think of a lot of other movies that have these. I mean, the one that comes to mind immediately, I don't think there's fire in it, but that movie with the one lady in it, she's like in a house and like her husband committed suicide. What was that movie called? We talked about it on here and I don't remember what it's called.
Wait, repeat that?
It was like the lady, she committed suicide. Or the lady's husband committed suicide and she's like, you're filling in the blanks. You see her after it happened.
Night House.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
That's
Night
one.
House is another elevated horror movie, I guess, because that's just all horror movies now that aren't a slasher, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of true.
I feel like The Witch started it and Ari Aster perfected it. You know?
Yeah.
Like once Hereditary dropped, every movie, regardless of the genre, like if it's like a mid-budget horror movie, they're like, how can we make Hereditary again?
Literally. So I was gonna say a lot of the same stuff applies to Hereditary, especially with the score
and Midsommar as well.
Oh yeah, you can't forget about Midsommar.
Yeah, and that's not a bad thing. None, I'm not saying none of these things are bad. I'm just saying that we are seeing a genre open before our eyes.
Yeah.
But not so much. I think. Well, thematically they are usually the same because I think by definition, elevated horror is the idea of there's no necessary like physical evil, but is more the themes are the antagonist.
Yeah, I could see that. One that was coming to mind watching this a lot was The Babadook for some reason.
Yeah, that was kind of an early one.
Yeah, where it was like, you know, it's
very
like
ambiguous.
Mental illness is the villain.
But that's usually the main theme of most elevated horror movies.
Yeah.
One that I absolutely love that I know you would disagree with me is The Empty Man.
The Empty Man.
I'm an empty head.
To be honest, I don't remember anything about that movie.
Oh my god. You don't even remember one of the best horror movies in the last recent years.
Here's what I remember about it. I remember the opening because it's like snowy and it was kind of spooky.
It's like a 30-minute intro before title card. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And then I remember that guy, he was like in an alley and then there was like cult members in the alley and he's like trying to like beat them up or something.
Hell yeah.
And then like he like comes, they're like in the back of a school doing their cult dance or something. Did that happen in that? Or am I thinking of something else?
Yeah, you know, there's a cult school. Yeah.
Okay. And I was like,
I don't know. Empty Man is awesome. I love it.
I have to watch it again. Maybe I'd like it.
Give
more.
it another try. Well, now I think it's gone for until it pops up on streaming because it was only on HBO. It does not have a physical release anywhere. So I think I don't know if it's in the void or someone else has picked it up.
Wait, it got taken off HBO?
Yeah.
Oh.
And no other streaming service, to my knowledge, as of this date, has it, and there's no physical release for it.
Is it one of those tax break things that Warner Brothers keeps doing?
What happened is it was a movie that was gonna come out, and then COVID happened, and and we're talking like they didn't announce it yet. COVID happened, theaters closed, no one knew what the hell was going on with movies, so they shelved it.
Okay.
And then they were like, shit, we spent, it's a good looking movie, and it's not like super expensive, it's not like fucking $100 million, but you know, it's over like 10 million.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, okay, we put money in this, like whatever, we'll drop a trailer and a week later throw it on streaming, and that's exactly what they did. And then everyone loved it. And they were like, what the hell, why did we not get this in theaters?
I think everyone is an overstatement, Dax.
Okay, me, I love. No, it had like a pretty decent cult following. Like that's how I learned about it, because everyone was like, dude, everyone was like, the best horror movie of the year just dropped out of nowhere, and it's insane that this is not getting any release.
Maybe I need to rewatch it.
Rewatch Empty Man. We'll have an Empty Man night
where we get drunk to get through it.
No,
I'm just joking.
No, we'll get drunk because that's how crazy it is. We gotta drink to deal with it. It's so crazy. It's so twisted.
Who is the titular empty man in that movie?
You know, I can't tell you without spoiling it, buddy. But I will say,
Slender Man.
It is related to Twin Peaks.
What? Is it?
Yes.
It's the
things
giant.
that are in Twin Peaks season 3 is related to the Empty Man.
David Lynch is the Empty Man.
Yeah, it's just David Lynch. When he's like he comes out of the shadows of a cigarette, he's like, "You guys got any coffee around here?" And just drags from a cigarette. The kids are like horrified.
Yeah.
You want to see this ear I found?
And they're horrified of him for some reason.
Yeah, they're like scared. They die. They just die.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Let me film this. Just shaking the camera in front of him.
And they call him the Empty Man
Scream.
because all the smoke in his lungs makes him empty.
His lungs are just empty.
Yeah.
You have to give him a black coffee and pie, and then he goes away. That's how you appease him. I like this idea. If we ever meet David Lynch, we're gonna get him to do a short film
called The Empty Man.
Called
Origins.
The Empty Man 2. David Lynch, there's this great elevated horror movie we want to make a sequel of. You're the titular Empty Man. be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What the hell?
What the hell? That's weird. This isn't me filming ants eat peanut butter off Kyle MacLachlan's staircase. What the hell? All right, enough David Lynch talk, because I know we could make an entire podcast just on David Lynch.
Yeah, we could.
Let's get into the movie of the night, Smile. And you know what? First time director. So whatever you think about this movie, you got to give him a round of applause, because I think it's competent.
It is, very much so. Yeah.
It's better than most things I've seen, technically wise speaking.
Yeah.
It's better than most modern horror movies, and that really caught me off guard very early on in the movie.
Yeah, I was surprised, because I don't know about you, but it reminded me of, I think it's a Blumhouse movie, of that Blumhouse movie Truth or Dare.
Yes.
With the smiling people, and I was like, oh. And that one was terrible.
I want to talk about this before we get into the movie, is how garbage I think the marketing was for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I saw that first trailer, I don't know, I just saw it before I saw some other movie in the theater, and I was like, oh my god, that looks terrible. Like, I was surprised Blumhouse didn't slap his name in front of that, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, this looks garbage. And that's exactly what I thought, the Truth or Dare, because that was the whole bit with their smile and their creepy. I'm like, okay. I'm like, that is a movie to get 13-year-old girls in chairs, you know? And then I saw it was like R-rated. I'm like, okay, whatever, weird. Okay, I'm not gonna see that. And then the posters look garbage.
Yeah, they do.
Like, the main poster, it's like a body bag and like this face in it, like the smiling person and like a guy zipping it up. But like, all elements of that is like photoshopped. Like, and I know, okay, most movie posters are photoshopped, but it is clearly photoshopped. Like, I could make that poster, you know?
Yeah, I get you.
I'm not saying anyone can make that poster, but if you have a degree in graphic design, you can just throw that together really quick.
Yeah.
And it doesn't convey the movie at all. My guess is that Paramount was like, oh, we got to do what Blumhouse is doing, get those teenagers in those chairs to watch our movie about mental illness. But wait, teenagers don't care about that stuff. We gotta give them something they like. Oh, you know what's scary? People smiling. Because I did look it up. This movie was supposed to be titled There's Something Wrong with Rose. And then Paramount was like, no.
Really?
Yeah, they were like, no, it's going to be called Smile.
Oh, God.
So I'm guessing they were in charge of marketing. But I will give Parker Finn some credit. They wanted to make the smiles, like they wanted to like elongate them, like use in post, like make them like big and scary.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, no, it's only going to be natural smiles.
Yeah, because that then you end up with the Truth or Dare movie, and that was all like CGI,
and that looks
stupid
terrible.
Looking smiles. Yeah, that was awful.
It doesn't look scary.
No, not at all.
It looks kind of like, I'm like, ugh, like gross.
It looks like a TikTok filter.
Yeah, it looks like a TikTok filter, exactly.
Wouldn't surprise me if that was a promotional stunt they did. They released like a TikTok filter for that movie. That would not
they did a lot of
me at all.
weird stuff. I was like reading, they also had some of the actors appear like in like baseball games, like just standing there smiling.
What?
And like, you know, like some of like the news, like the today, like local news will have like those windows where people like stand outside.
Oh,
they had like their actors do that, but like that was before they like announced the movie, so had no idea what they were like doing.
Right.
So they were just trying some like viral marketing stunt.
So stupid.
So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like they were really banking on trying to make this like a teenager horror movie, like a sleepover movie, you know?
Mm-hmm. And the movie doesn't lend itself to that at all.
It's not at that. I was expecting at some point to really service that. Like, there are not that many smile people or whatever you want to call them in this.
No, there really isn't.
Like, I was expecting this to hit the general beats of Oh, main character sees smile person. Okay, we got dialogue. Okay, how can we get them in a situation? Oh, smile person, scary. Ah, okay, let's move it along. Smile person. It's just that.
Yeah.
For an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Because those are like just the Blumhouse movie. It's probably Truth or Dare. I don't know.
It probably is.
But for those living under a rock that hasn't seen the Smile trailer within the last year, because I feel like it was everywhere. Essentially, Smile is about a therapist who works in like a hospital, specifically like an emergency therapist. So people that are having like psychotic breaks are taken there, and she sees to them. And she meets this girl who is saying that there is smiling people following her, and then she kills herself. And then our main character then sees the smiling people, and she starts going crazy.
Oh my God.
Pretty much the plot without spoiling it. It's kind of hard to describe it without spoiling it.
Yeah, because nothing really happens in it.
I'll get into this later, but it is very much it is a mixture of Ringu, the Japanese, not the American ones, and It Follows. It is almost a perfect blend of those two movies, which I'll get into later when we're talking about spoilers. But what did you think of Smile 2022, directed by Parker Finn?
Parker Finn? More like Parker Grin.
Oh, fuck you.
They should have legally changed his name to that, so that his like
he could do that.
Yeah, it seems like he was destined to direct this movie.
Some intern like made that joke.
Yeah.
You know what? I bet you movie critics had a field day with this one, because if they liked it, they're like, Smile 2022 really put a smile on my face.
Oh yeah.
And if they didn't like it, they go, Smile should have been called Frown, because that's what I was doing during this movie.
Yeah. That's your YMS slipping in.
Yeah, yeah. Whenever I talk bad about a movie, I just go into YMS mode. They called it Smile, but not once did I smile through the film. It wasn't even that scary. I didn't even frown. I just looked at it, and then it was over. It sounds like something you would say.
You need to do a whole one of these episodes just in that voice, the YMS
just
voice.
In YMS character.
Yeah.
And we got to do like a really like good movie too, and just have a bunch of garbage takes. The Thing, they should have called it The Creature, because a creature would be a better description of the monster. That's why I'm giving this one 3 out of 10.
Oh god. I was gonna say what I liked about the movie, right? Yeah. That's where I was.
Yeah. What do you thought about it?
I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little tasteless. But I guess I could see what they were trying to do with it. And also my problem with it too is it feels way too long. Like,
yes,
there's like nothing.
This is an hour
happens.
and a half movie.
Yeah, it feels like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I'm like, I don't know what you could. I guess having more things happen, because the whole middle part of the movie is like literally just her bugging out and going to different places, talking to different people, and having the same thing happen.
There's like 3 scenes of her freaking out and going, "You have to believe me, I'm not crazy," and then people not believing her and calling her crazy.
I know. And what killed me too was like, there's that one scene with her therapist, and she's like the smile monster for some reason. She gets a call, and then she realizes, oh my god, my therapist is not sitting in front of me.
Yeah, she gets lost highwayed.
Yeah, and then the therapist starts like running at her, and she like goes over the couch, and then it just cuts to her in the car.
Yeah. I was confused about that too.
I was like, what is this movie? I was like, that's so like lame. It really deflates the threat of whatever is going on.
Yeah, okay, so time for a rant. Okay. So I've said on here before, what makes a horror monster good is you set rules, right?
Yeah.
You set rules because that makes him scary. Like Freddy Krueger. He's scary because there's specific rules. And when you know the character is not following those rules, Freddy's going to get you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ring has specific rules. You watch the tape, you die, you get a call, you die in 7 days. Boom, right?
Yeah.
You understand the threat. Mm-hmm. So even though you see Sadako around, even if it's on like the 4th day, you're like, okay, no, she's good. She's got 3 more days. You know? This movie, they never establish a time period. He's like, the longest someone survived is 7 days, but some don't even last 4. They don't really understand how it kills you. They don't really establish when you see it if it can physically hurt you.
Yeah, it's really unclear.
Because it can interact with physical stuff, but no one can see it.
Mm-hmm.
So it is very unclear, and I think that makes it very confusing.
Yeah.
That, like, I would call this movie like It Follows Light.
It's very true.
You know? It's like a diet It Follows.
Yeah. It's a much worse version of it. But I will say I liked the themes of it, generally speaking.
Yes.
I liked the idea of mental illness. I just thought, it just seemed weird to me to have to like make like a whole big movie about mental illness, and then at the end have like a monster, like a literal monster.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
With like a monster with a
Metaphors,
scary
bro.
face. It was like
Metaphors, bro.
I know. It was just like kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, like I said before, it's just in like weird, bad taste. It's just, I don't know. It's not good.
Yeah. I will say I think I liked it a little bit more than you, but I'm not saying it's great.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's well made. Like it's. Let me tell you, for what it is the best it can be.
Yeah,
Does that makes sense.
Probably.
But the entire time watching, I was like, oh my god, this is It Follows. This is a shot from It Follows. This is a shot from It Follows. And then I'm like, these are the rules of Ring. These are the rules of Ring. That is exactly the rules of Ring. So that kind of took me a bit out of it. But I think our main character is decent and interesting. She just wants to help people. And I mean, the main theme, I think, of the movie is that we need to pay attention to mental illness maybe a little bit more. Because if you don't pay attention, it gets out of control. And if you discredit it, you are basically isolating the person and making them feel worse.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that I think is a little, I guess, smart is that, you know, they set up early. Basically, the opening sequence is her interviewing the patient that comes in, and she's tweaking out because the smile demon is coming to get her or whatever. And Rose is like, oh, you know, it's like, okay, you're just experiencing hallucination. It's fine. She's like, I'm not hallucinating. You think I'm crazy, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, basically they, like, role reverse, like, at the end. Like Rose becomes the one that's, like, telling people, you don't believe me, I'm not crazy. And everyone's going, like, you're crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I guess like the bigger idea of that is I think that no one truly understands a mental illness other than the person going through it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, totally.
Like I have anxiety. I have like really bad anxiety. Like I can get panic attacks, but like I know I could never explain that to someone and have them fully understand what I'm feeling, you know?
Yeah.
And I think like the message of the film is just do your best. Like, we can't understand what people are going through, but we should definitely do our best to make them, you know, comfortable and like basically make them like valid.
Mm-hmm.
Because her situation gets worse because all these people in her life that supposedly care for her are basically discrediting her as going crazy. And that's leads to her getting no spoilers here, but not good things happen.
Yes. Yeah, I liked it. It was and to add to that, to your explanation of like I agree. I think it's a lot about not listening to people with mental illness, and like people who haven't gone through it just really don't understand it.
No.
And I also think it kind of nails a certain aspect of mental illness too, is like specifically I think trauma. Like if you see someone go through something, if you see someone literally kill themselves in front of you,
Yeah.
you're gonna carry that with you the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And like the monster literally appears only to you.
Right.
In the form of what you saw, basically, or the form of people who have passed. Like, I think one of them mentions like their dad who killed themselves appeared as
the first girl mentioned that she saw her grandfather die.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's very it's very like a cycle of violence sort of thing, where it kind of just keeps on passing on to someone else, and like literally the only way to end your suffering for some people, if they're that mentally unwell, is to just kill themselves, and it just keeps that cycle keeps going, and it keeps sticking with people. I thought that was a pretty effective aspect of the theme as well.
No, yeah, they do the monster like really well.
Yeah,
like in terms of like that. I just wish the rules were a bit more clear cut.
Yeah.
Because like I never really know what the threat was up until the very end.
Right. It reminded me a lot of it had a lot of the same problems with it that I did with the It movie. Like how like repetitive it felt. The first one even.
Or just the first one even? Okay.
Because it just felt like in Pennywise it was very repetitive, where it would just be like, okay, a kid is alone. Pennywise comes and spooks them, and they run away, and he lets them get away for some reason. And then, okay, move on to the next kid, do the same exact thing again. And it was like that for like 40 minutes. And it was like, this was very similar, where like the rules are not explained clearly enough, where you're not even sure what needs to happen for the main character to get killed by this thing, or what even the thing wants. It was like, there's so many scenes of it just letting her get away. Or like it cutting away from an intense scene. You're like, okay, I guess everything is fine. Like, what is there to be afraid of?
Yeah,
it's very weird.
Like, and sometimes she'll see things, but like experience them as they're real, and then it just not happening.
yeah.
So it's like, does it also control her mind?
Yeah, it's not clear at all, really.
Yeah, and I guess, I mean, it's supposed to symbolize like you never know when you're gonna, experience like a traumatic event, or like relive it, or something will trigger bad memories. But like, this is a horror movie. Like I almost think, okay, we're going spoiler talk.
Okay.
So if you don't want to hear spoilers, just go watch it. It's on not HBO. It's on Prime right now. Everyone has Prime because Amazon rules everyone now. So go watch Smile if you care about spoilers. Okay, now, what I was gonna say is if the movie, I think you kind of mentioned it earlier, if the movie didn't end with a literal monster, the themes would have been hit home a lot more.
Right.
If I didn't see a 9-foot skinless creature at the end, I'd been like, okay. But here's where I'm conflicted. Okay, here's where I'm conflicted.
Yeah.
I like freaks. I like creatures. I like weirdos. And that was cool. That was really cool.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of body horror, so I liked seeing it.
The design.
Like took its own face off and was like,
and it's got like 10 jaws.
Yeah, that was rad. It was, and I even like the scene where it enters her body at the end. When,
like opens her jaw, like unhinges her jaw.
Yeah, that was pretty spooky and like weird. Like that stuff in a vacuum is very effective. It's just the problem in context of the movie. It just kind of just like doesn't gel really well with the rest of it.
Right. And I will say towards the end, they just straight up took that shot from It Follows, like the scariest shot, when there's like that tall man and he goes from under the door.
Yeah, no, they did do that.
I'm like, that's It Follows. That's straight up It Follows. There's also so many shots of her looking out and seeing it, and I'm like, that's It Follows.
I was surprised they didn't do the, like, you see a smile person in the background of a shot, but no character, like, remarks on it.
Yeah, I was expecting more of that.
Yeah, me too, and that's like kind of a staple of It Follows is
You never know who, and no one can see it.
Right, and that's the genius of that movie is like there's so many scenes with that group of friends sitting in a crowded area
and being like, do you see that person?
Yeah, and there's like always someone like heading right toward them, and you're like, is that the thing? And they don't even know, like it's like that part of it was genius. Not saying this movie should have done that, because then that's just straight up stealing.
It's just a copy. Yeah.
Right. But this movie didn't have anything that it was doing really well on its own either. That was like cool and like scary, It just kind of was just a movie. I don't know.
It didn't fuck you to death like It Follows.
Yes.
Well, I want to get into Ring, okay? So, I had just finished the original Ringu trilogy. Me and Carolina have been watching them. They're fine. They're great. They're fun. So, in Ringu, basically, you watch the tape. You got 7 days to live. You're cursed. Get where I'm going with this?
Okay.
And do you know how to break the Ring curse?
No, I actually don't.
You make a copy of the video and show it to someone.
Oh, so it's literally this movie.
It is literally this movie. Because in Smile, you find out the only way to get the curse lifted off of you is to kill someone in front of someone else to spread that trauma. So it is literally that. Basically, trade someone's life for your own.
Yeah.
So the whole time I was like, this is just Ringu.
It really is.
But Sadako's a lot cooler.
That could be fine. Like this movie, it definitely feels like an amalgamation of all these different other like inspirations. Like it feels like it's taking from a lot of different areas, but like it just doesn't really create anything and do it in a new, unique way that is like really super engaging. It's like okay for what it is, but I don't know. You're right. It's like, and I just based on what you're saying about Ringu, it seems like very, very heavily ripped off some stuff from that.
It is very, very much Ringu, like almost exact.
Oh god!
Except Ringu's very clear with its rules, unlike this movie. When Sadako comes out of the TV, you're donezo.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something another thing in Ringu that's very similar. In this, like everyone's smiling when they die.
Oh sure.
Like they the body's like she smiled. In Ring they have like a petrified, almost like a screaming face. And like the morticians are like, oh, like that's like impossible. Like you can't die like that, Like you can't die with your face stuck in that position. So I thought that was also very similar.
That's interesting. Yeah, oh god.
And the fact that like in the movie she also said like to her sister, she's like, I'm literally cursed. And I was like, oh my god, this is just Ring. So
that's crazy though.
Yeah, watch the first Ringu and you will realize it is literally just Smile. Well, wow. Smile is Ringu, but that's why I'm saying it's literally the plot of Ringu with the monster of It Follows.
Oh god. So, yeah. I mean, what more can you say, really?
And again, I like this movie. I feel like I'm taking a hot stinky poo poo on it, but
yeah, maybe we should say some stuff we did like about it, because I feel like
let's say some stuff we did like. One thing I liked was the party scene
with the dead cat,
the kid's birthday party. When Carolina watches with me and she caught it before I did, when she was at the party and they put like the kids started opening the presents, and the second they showed just her present on the table, Carolina's like, the cat's in there. She called it. And then And then I was thinking on, I'm like, oh my god, why would they put so much emphasis on that? Oh my god. And then it happened, and she traumatized a child. And then it gets like worse because she's like, I'm not crazy, and then like smashes through the glass coffee table.
Oh my god, yeah. That was a cringe scene. It's like where you're like gritting your teeth.
That genuinely, I was like, oh, it was like watching like a guy dress up as Joker on YouTube or something. You know, like I was like, ugh. Because like it's coming, and like what do you do in that situation? Like, what would you do if like your sister gifted one of your kids a dead cat?
Yeah, I would just be in shock.
Like what do you say? It's like they can't like defend themselves because it's like, how do you explain like why would someone frame you for that? You know?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's like such a stupid thing, you know. And that's my question about it. Really, is because we never see her doing that or putting the dead cat in the box. Right. We see her buying a train and doing it. Yeah. So it's like, did she do that, or did somehow the monster do that? How does that work?
I think the monster just saw like she was buying a train. He's like, I want that train. So he swapped them. He swapped the present.
He wanted a toy.
And then the next time she sees the monster, he's like smiling and playing with the little electric train.
Oh my god.
She's like, oh my god. It was you. You killed Mustache because you wanted my train.
You son of a bitch.
That's Smile 2. We find out what happened to that train. That's my CinemaSins ding right there.
Uh-oh.
She buys the train, but we never see it later in the film. Just where the heck did it go? Did the monster eat it? I don't know. The movie doesn't know either. And then ding.
I hate CinemaSins. Him and Doug Walker,
Me too.
I hate. I just can't stand those two freaks.
Did you hear Doug Walker's hot take on Punch Drunk Love, saying it's bad because Paul that sounded so genuine because he said Paul Thomas Anderson couldn't keep Adam Sandler in frame during a shot.
Oh my god.
And it's intentionally supposed to be like that because like the camera is like panning left and right.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
He's so bad.
It's like, dude, shut the fuck up.
I couldn't stand him after a while because when growing up, I'll admit, I watched a lot of his stuff. And that's what I thought good like film criticism was.
Yeah.
But then you grow up and you realize and you watch other people on YouTube even, or even just read actual movie reviews. And it's like, all he does is literally, he just walks you through every single part of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but like, he like says, and then this happens. What the hell? And then moves on.
What the hell?
That's so stupid. Bad credit card. Oh my god. And like just moves on. And it's like, how is this funny? And then there's like a really unfunny skit stitched onto the front and end of the review that like it makes everybody want to kill themselves. It's like,
that's what we should start doing. Funny skits.
No, please God, no. The only ones I'll watch are Red Letter Medias because they don't even care.
Yeah.
It's not even a real skit.
God, I want to know what I will say I did have a CinemaSins moment during the movie.
Yeah.
Because there's a continuity error.
Uh-oh.
And it bothered me. And this is going to set me on another movie tangent.
Uh-oh.
But it was the second time she drops a glass. Also, whenever Rose picks up a wine glass, you know it's going on the floor. It happens too many times in this movie. But it was the second time she dropped the glass. She dropped the glass, and she doesn't have shoes on. She's in socks. But then that was like when the alarm goes off. She runs to grab the knife, and she has shoes on.
Oh my god! How could they do that? What the hell? That's so stupid.
My guess was they filmed multiple glass shots the first time, and then just used 2 different takes of those for each one. But they filmed at a different time, so they forgot to take her shoes off for when she's running around the house, or they put her shoes on for the take. Vice versa.
You're definitely right.
That's a ding. That's a CinemaSins ding.
Prop department, continuity department fucked up on that one.
But also, then this led me to go on a tangent. Okay, Eastern culture, like they take off their shoes when they go into houses, right? Mm-hmm. And stuff like that. And you see that in the movies. Here, I would say majority. I know some people don't take off their shoes in their house. Whatever. If they want to live in filth, that's fine. But I would say majority of the houses and apartments I go into, you take your shoes off. How come in literally every movie and TV show they don't?
Oh, like take their shoes off, like show
They're
them
like
doing
wearing
it.
their shoes like in the bed. They're like in bed with their shoes on. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I haven't seen much of that.
That's literally every movie and show. Yeah. Maybe it's just a weird thing I noticed, but it's just, and this that little thing got me thinking about it. And my guess is for continuity, they do it for continuity. They always have shoes on so they avoid situations like that.
Probably, yeah.
That would be my guess.
It's a safe assumption.
But that bothered me. And Smile really peeved me off with that.
You should have wrote a bad review to them and be like, "What
wrote
the
a bad
fuck?
Review? What the hell? At this exact timestamp, she's got shoes on. She wasn't wearing shoes in the frame before that."
Or there could have, there could have also been a scene cut from there, or like a sequence. I mean, in between the glass shattering and that,
where she puts on shoes to like pick up the glass or something.
Yeah, maybe. And they just
cut that out.
Yeah, they just cut it for time or something. I don't know.
We already have 30 minutes of her running around screaming. We can't add.
Oh my god. Okay, can I say I don't want to?
Yeah,
I just got reminded of something because I'm thinking about this movie, but the guy Kumar or Harold, which one is he?
The fuck are you talking about?
Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah. Is the boyfriend?
No. Her boss.
Oh, that's where he's from.
Yeah.
Okay. He looked so familiar, and I was like, oh my god, why does he look so familiar? I don't know which he is. I don't remember. I watched his movies when I was like a kid.
Okay. But I don't want to be mean, but he is bad in this. I could not take him too seriously.
Yeah.
I noticed he's been trying to do that like dramatic role turn recently. He showed up in a bunch of stuff. It's just not working. I just don't buy him as a doctor. Maybe it's just I just know him as like the stoner guy, but
yeah, so you don't trust him in a position of power.
Yeah.
Where he controls other people's lives.
Yeah. But even the way he was talking to her when she was freaking out, it was like very like not how someone would talk to somebody that's
especially
happening.
Someone who's a trained psychiatrist.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, are you okay? Oh." He's like had this very like weird tone of voice that was like
it's like very condescending.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, you do not talk to somebody, especially someone you know that's like works for you and you've known for years, presumably. Like, Anyway, I interrupted you earlier.
I do really like that scene though when she goes to kill the guy in that crazy guy who was talking about always dying in front of the boss, and it's like synced with the music as she's like stabbing him.
Oh yeah. And
he's like screaming as well, and I don't know, that part was really cool.
That came off as comedic to me for some reason.
Yeah, no, it was. I thought it was, but then you find out, it's because it's not real.
Yeah.
It's the monster, so he's kind of like toying with her. But I think all like the kills and gore and stuff are pretty good.
They were actually. I was very surprised,
especially the first one with her like starting in the cheek and then moving down to cut her throat.
Oh yeah, that was brutal.
And they showed like the in like the body bag, like there was the smile outline of the blood. That was pretty cool.
That was
and
pretty
then even
cool.
like you don't see it, but the suicide she witnessed, the hammer, the guy that hammered himself to death.
Oh yeah.
And they show like there's a glimpse of it, and it's just face is all mangled. That was pretty awesome.
That was pretty awesome. Yeah, there's some stuff to like in this for sure. It's like it's just kind of boring. I don't know.
It's kind of like if Ari Aster made a movie for Blumhouse.
I think it's.
I don't know.
No, it's worse than that. I think. Who is a lesser director?
Ari Aster's name that does the similar stuff. Like James Wan. James
No,
Wan would make something like this.
This is too smart for James Wan, I think.
Don't hate on Wan. He made the greatest movie ever, *Malignant*.
But he also made Aquaman.
Yeah. But he was smart enough to get Pitbull to do a cover of Africa by Toto for that movie. Man's a genius. Man deserved an Oscar for that moment alone.
That's I'm not gonna argue with you there.
Hey, he made Warner Brothers a shitload of money, more than if they put Zack Snyder or anyone in that thing for Aquaman.
Yeah, you're right. It's a one for them and one for me situation.
Yeah, and then he got to do *Malignant*.
Yeah.
And he brought so much joy to my life.
It's pretty good.
And how are we forgetting Megan?
Oh, he just produced that, didn't he?
Yeah, he just produced it.
You could
But
feel
still.
his touch in it, though. I think he writes it, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he wrote for it, and it was like
Yeah.
a first-time director situation as well, I believe, too.
Nice.
So, good job, Mr. Wan.
Good job.
I'm looking forward to Saw 11.
And good job, whoever directed this Smile movie, whatever his name is. Ryan Grimm.
Parker Finn.
Parker Finn.
You did a
that's
good
right.
job.
He
I
did.
know we're really dogging on you, but good job.
Yeah.
Like it's shot is really competently made.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
There are some shots where I was like, "Oh wow, that looks pretty good."
Yeah.
Like,
And
okay,
it had very good atmosphere in general.
I always go on about this. Horror movies intro before the title card needs to hook you. It needs to be good.
Yes.
But when that title card pops, I better be like, all right, like I'm sold. This movie I thought had a really good one with because you expect it to be a monster in the beginning, but it's just her witnessing her mom's suicide. Real pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
And then that whole sequence of her with that girl that came in, and she's like, blah, blah, I see smile people, and then like the actual kill, and then like the title card. I was like, okay, pretty cool. So it had a solid hook for me.
Yeah, I like that scene. It's pretty creepy.
I was invested.
Yeah. It's not horrible.
Maybe we should just smile more.
That is true.
What's the Joker's favorite movie? Smile. Batman, I just watched this movie. It's gonna put a smile on your face.
Joker, what the hell was that?
It's about trauma, Batman, and how we need to pay attention to more mental illness. Believe me, Bats, I know a lot about mental illness.
Oh, God.
This movie really struck a chord with me, Bats. I thought you would like it because of your parents.
We live in a
Thought you could
society.
We live in a society where we mistreat the mentally ill.
I was going to say, we live in a society where everybody forgets about the movie Smile a week after they saw it.
Oh, my God.
I was going to say, though, legitimately that this is like the themes of this movie, I think, are better done than the Joker movie. I feel like they have very similar messages.
Very similar of, yeah. I definitely agree. This one has done a lot more better. Yeah, Joker's very one-dimensional, I will say.
Yeah, it doesn't really... it was like good for one watch, and then you're like, I don't really want to watch that again.
Yeah. and this movie doesn't make you root for her going out and killing people. like Joker does.
Oh,
Like,
God.
yeah, those Wall Street guys deserve it. They were a little bit rude. I think they deserve 338 caliber rounds to their head. Hell yeah.
Did I tell you that when I saw that the first time in the theater, I was sitting next to a guy who, at the scene when he's about to kill Murray, guy, the talk show host, I think his name was Murray, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Murray.
Okay. There was a guy laughing as that was happening.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was actually kind of scared. I was like, what is this guy gonna do?
This guy's like, hell yeah, I'm gonna go home and beat the shit out of my wife.
Yeah. Well, really, maybe he was just laughing at how bad the movie was, and I just misunderstood him this whole time.
That reminds me, I saw someone on Twitter say when they saw Megan, there was like a dad that brought his kids to see it, and when they first showed like Megan, like I think like kill someone, he was like laying back and he's just like, I could take that bitch on.
What?
and then he's like, and then proceeded to fall asleep for the rest of the movie.
Dads are all like that.
Yeah.
They think they
Smile
can
demon.
take a grizzly bear.
Just don't gotta witness trauma. I just beat that demon.
Stupid bitch.
Yeah, stupid bitch. You know, I'd go to a cabin in the woods and I'd show it a thing or two with my 12 gauge.
Oh my god.
I will say the idea of just being alone was pretty cool. Like the idea of like the only way to beat it is not give it what it wants, to not spread it. So if I just stay alone, it won't kill me because it needs to spread.
Yeah, that I like that. I like that rule, but it's like
I wish that part would have happened like halfway through, and then the rest of the movie is her alone just trying to deal with that.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
Like, let the power dynamic shift, you know? Let her get over the trauma and be like, now I'm in control, you stupid idiot, that you've been controlling my mind since I was a little girl, but now I'm in control.
Yeah.
I have the power. And then you could do the boyfriend comes and she's like, no, you know, switches it up. But I feel like the message wasn't very positive, you know, very bleak.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean,
which is fine for this. Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. I just feel like that whole thing would have been a lot more interesting.
It would have. Yeah, it's hard to say, because it's also like if she survived and she beat it at the end, it would kind of go against the themes of the film.
Yeah,
you know, that's true. Or it would lose its point. Yeah,
but Brad, you're not thinking about this monetary value. You know,
franchise
we
potential.
Her, you know, yeah, we beat it. Maybe like the house burns down, so the fire department's there. You know, like credits go, but then the end credits. Ready? There's a fireman, you know, he's spraying it, you know, he stops.
Yeah.
All the firemen are like, whoa, what are you doing? And then he turns and he smiles and takes an axe to his face, and then it ends.
Oh my god.
So,
and then the next movie opens with them taking the main character of this movie to a hospital.
Yeah,
and they're like, she's barely alive.
She's crazy. She's crazy. She's real. Like, and then like they like believe her now.
Yeah, she's just
they're like, we need you. You beat it the first time. You're the only one that can stop it.
And she's just like slightly scarred on her cheek, like Loomis was in Halloween 5, whatever the fuck it was, Halloween 4.
Yeah, just a little scar and then maybe some burns, like a little ash mark on her cheek. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
We're gonna fucking kill this demon.
Yeah.
Then they put out an international like warning that like if you smile at all, you'll be shot on sight. We just gotta weed it out and kill anyone that's smiling.
It becomes an action movie.
Yeah. And then you have like the rebel group. The government doesn't want us to smile, but god damn it, they can't stop and take that freedom from us. We fought back. They accuse us from being demons. They just don't understand genuine human kindness.
Oh my god.
That sounds like a Christian movie.
It does. I was gonna say. You just need someone to be an atheist, and then it's a Christian movie.
The smile demon's the atheist.
Oh, that's like Satan controlling you because you don't give
Satan,
yourself to
yeah.
God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
It's
God.
not Jesus' love that fills that boy up. It's Satan. That's why he smiles. My smile comes from the pounding of love Jesus gives me every night. So I burst at the seams. I swear, at any time I see like those TikToks. Have you like seen like religious TikTok?
I don't think so.
Just don't. But oh my God, do they want Jesus to come in them? Like, it's insane.
Ew.
Like, it's disgusting. I don't know.
I don't blame them.
I don't know
Have
if
you
it's
seen
intentional.
how ripped he is?
Who? Jesus?
Yeah, Jesus. He's like, when he's on that cross, he's like shredded.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Give me a modern action movie where Jesus like breaks off the cross and gets revenge.
Oh, have you played that? There's that one fighting God video game.
I think I know what you're talking about. Is it like a beat 'em up?
Well, no, it's a literal fighting game. It's like two
shit.
people on both sides, and he punches people with wood from the cross. Like he still
Hell
has
yeah.
the stakes
Like
in his
the
hand.
wood on him.
Yeah. And the wood is on like the other side, still attached to his hand. He just ripped it off of the cross, and he's just like punching people with it.
I would say we need a biblical fighting game.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You got Noah. You got water powers.
Water powers.
Abraham could be like what's her name? Like, was it Ferrator from Mortal Kombat, where he's got his son on his shoulders?
Oh my God, yeah. Right. I was gonna say it could be the Virgin Mary, just squirting babies out at will.
Ugh. Yeah, like that's her. Like there's always that one ranged attack people spam. It's just her, like her down forward like triangle. She just like lays down, opens up, and a baby just shoots out.
Yeah, and it's a low
God's
projectile.
Also, yeah, it's a low projectile. Any skilled Moses player could easily jump that.
Oh God.
Yeah. Let's make it.
Let's do it. Noah
Call it
could
the
have,
Bible too.
Noah has animal summons.
Yeah,
You can just call
he
him like an
assists.
elephant.
He's basically like Pokemon trainer in Smash.
Yeah, exactly.
You have a lion, an elephant, and what's like a good small creature?
A raccoon.
Like a vicious raccoon. Yeah, and he's just like in the back on the ark. And like when they get hit, he's like, ah!
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
This is so stupid.
No, it's awesome. If you're a video game designer, hit us up.
Yeah.
I have years of unwanted Christian brainwashing in my brain since I was a child that we can use. I have a lot of Christian nightmares I need to get out of my head and put into a fighting game.
Yeah, you could make a good one.
But and you know what? That would make me smile.
Oh,
Bringing it full circle.
nice.
We're on it today. We're on it today with those transitions.
We just love it.
But yeah, Smile, I think we can agree. It's fine.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's worth a watch. Because I will say the biggest reason I wanted to watch this and do this is because I was very confused when this movie was coming out with really good reviews.
Yeah.
Because I was like, everything I've seen looks awful from the trailers and marketing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see this. And now I understand why it has a lot of good reviews.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's just not the movie they marketed at all.
Right?
Cool.
Yeah, I felt bad for not seeing it at first. Because,
I would have mind seeing it in the theater.
Yeah, I would have been fine.
Some good
with
scares
that.
and stuff.
I would not have felt like I wasted my time. It's like, it's not terrible,
No, it's fine. It's a good one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's like the best movie that came out last year, but it's definitely good.
Yeah.
So It's on Prime, so go watch it on Prime. Yeah. I was trying to like chill out, like, you know, I always chill out to Shudder, but then I realized I'm like, there's no way Amazon Prime would ever be affiliated with us.
Yeah.
In our wildest dreams. So Amazon, I'm not chilling out to you.
But you're not chilling out.
But I'm not. So if like magically like $100 gift card appeared in like my Amazon account, that would be very cool. Even I'll take like $50 like digital credit, you know?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'll watch Jack Reacher if you give me something.
Oh, God.
Whatever the hell. I'll watch that weird Chris Pratt movie where he fights aliens, I think. I don't know. I don't know what you guys do. I know dads watch your shows. That's all I know. But we'll review something for you if you give us each $100 credit.
You know? Yeah.
So that sounds like a deal. Sounds like a deal. So go watch Smile if at all it's interested. I will say if you like creatures, watch it, because I would say it's probably worth it for the final act.
Yeah, it's a cool design.
If you like freaks like us, go watch it. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook and whatever social medias we have. If you're listening on YouTube, you can watch us on Spotify. And if you're watching us on Spotify and say, hey, I want to see a fun little video with it, you can watch it on YouTube, because we're also on YouTube. And Pandora and wherever you can listen to podcasts, we're pretty much there. So thank you for listening, and you should smile more.
Oh, yeah.
Am I right? That's what Joker would say.
He would say that. Or a guy
end it like
creepily
Joker?
hitting on a girl. You should smile more, sweetie.
Hey, babe, you should smile more. What? Why are you running away, you stupid bitch? That's like literally every guy. I'm gonna say something really creepy to you and then get offended when you don't like it.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I want to emphasize that was a joke. I'm not actually misogynistic.
Not actually. We just joke about being misogynistic for some reason.
It's only fun to hate women if you're joking. That sounds bad.
It does.
We hate men. We hate men on this podcast, okay?
We hate everyone equally.
We hate everyone. Yeah, that sounds like something the fucking South Park creators would say.
Yeah, no, it is. It's like a Facebook
We can
meme.
say the N-word because we make fun of everyone.
Oh, God.
All right, before we say anything to get us canceled, we're gonna sign off. Go watch Smile on Prime, and thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.